Hello everyone, so in this particular video we will be looking at 5 more functions in Pandas. So these will be mostly indexing functions and we will be going through them one by one. However, before going forward, I would like to say that if you want my help in any of your projects or you want to discuss something one-to-one on a video call for any of the new technology that you want to learn in machine learning, deep learning, NLP or computer vision, you can definitely take my Fiverr gig. Links are in the description. So let's start. So first thing that I need to do is import pandas. So we will import pandas as PD. We will see that there is already a dataset over here. It will sample data. If you open this particular folder, you will see there is something called as California housing train.csv. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to say df and then pd.read csv. We have seen this function in the last video, and basically I'll pass the path. So after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see the top 5 rows, that is with df.head. So as you can see, there are some rows and the columns are longitude, latitude, housing, median, age, and there are certain columns that we can see over here. Okay, and you can see these numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the indices. So the first function that we are going to say is the iloc function. What it does is basically you will give it a number. So let's say 0, iloc of 0, and this particular row will be taken out. Okay, let's say if you give iloc of 3, so it will see where 3 is. It will see, okay, 3 is over here, then this particular row will be given. Very simple. So how we are going to implement it, we are going to say df.iloc and then square brackets, and let's say we gave 21. Okay, and we will hit shift and enter. So we can see we got all the values. The longitude is minus 114.73, latitude is this, and these you can see all those values are the 21st index. Okay, so this was the first function, very easy, so won't be going too deep into it. The second function that we are going to see is this loc function. It's very similar, however there are some things that are different. So let's say you want to have indices 10 to 20. So over here you saw you are having from 0 to 4, that is 5. You want to have from 10 to 20. One way you can do that is, let's say df.loc, and then what you're going to give, you're going to give 10 colon 20 and hit enter. Once you do that, you can see over here from index 10 to index 20 all these values have come. So easy. There are definitely more ways to get the from these kind of indices, direct 10 to 20. However, I have showed you the simplest one. One more way we can use loc is if let's say you want to give some indices that are not congruent. So let's say you are giving indices like 3, then you want 7, then you want 256, let's just say, and then I'm going to hit enter. What will happen is it will give you those values. So at the 3rd index, this was the row. At the 7th index, this was the row, and at the 256th index, this was the row. So you can see we only gave it a list of the indices, and then we passed this to the loc function and we got the values. Now what we are going to do is we are going to see a third, I'll not say a function, it's a way, but it's very important way, that is to get data, or rather get rows based on condition on columns. So let me first go and print the df.head. Let me just print df.head and let's analyze the values. So yeah, so as you can see over here that there are, let's for example take housing median age. You can see some age is there. So 15, 19, 17, 14, 20. Population is also there, 10, 0, 1050, 1129, and so on and so forth. So let's say I want all the rows where population is greater than 1000. Okay, so what I'm going to say, I'm going to say df, which is the data frame. I'm going to say df.population, and I'm going to give the greater than sign and 1000. If I'm hitting shift and enter, what you're going to see is, let me scroll by, yeah, so I hit this one, df bracket open, df.population greater than 1000, and you see over here all the populations, you see population here, all the populations are greater than, okay, all the population are greater than 1000. And how many of them are there? 1299 rows. Before that, let's check what was the shape of the data frame initially. So we can see there's 17,000 rows, and out of that 10,299 rows has population greater than 1000. What if you want to have two conditions like this? Let's say we want to have the condition df dot population greater than 1000, but we also want one more function, one more condition, sorry. So let's say df dot households, this is one of them, df dot households, this has to be greater than 200 or 300, let's say, or 400, whatever. Okay, so there are certain values, you can see it's almost all of them are 400 because we have taken this greater than 1000. Obviously households will increase when population increase. So let's say we are taking it more than 400 or 500, let's say. Okay, so we have two conditions. We have to say that the population has to be greater than 1000, and we have to say that the households, or the number of households, has to be greater than 500. But if you give like this, like say df dot households, so I'm basically going to copy it from here itself. So df dot households, um, households, and then let's say greater than 500, you will see we'll get an error, and I'll explain to you why we will get that error, why we got that error. So whatever it is saying, the problem is you cannot use a and d over here. You need to do two things. Number one, you need to have these in the bracket. So we'll have this first condition in the bracket, and second condition over here will also be in bracket. Okay, and this and has to be changed to bitwise. Now if you're going to hit shift and enter, we should get our results. So you can see over here, all the population are greater than 1000, all the population, you can see over here, all these are greater than 1000, and also the df dot household, which is this, are all greater than 500. You can see over here, initially when we had only this condition, some 400s over here, only one condition was the df population is greater than 1000. So you had some 479, 435. Now you see over here, all of them are greater than 500, none is lesser than 500. Okay, now we are going to see the fourth function. We could have imported or used this function in the last video itself. However, it can also help us in indexing and other things. That's why I have used it over here. So the thing is that, let's say you want to have rows randomly. So for that you use something called as df.sample, and let's just hit shift and enter. You see a random row has been taken, 11,394, and a random row is taken. Let's say you want to change this, you want 5 rows. Okay, so you can give over here 5. You can see I have given here 5, and I'm going to hit shift and enter. This ideally should give us 5 rows at random. Okay, so it is taking some time, it is running. Okay, you got the answer here. So these are all random indices, 13,209, 2,365, all these indices are random, and all these values are also corresponding to these indices. So what mostly this is used for, let's say you want to shuffle the data. So the way you shuffle the data, you just say df.sample and say frac equal to 1, that is 100. So what this will do is it will shuffle the entire data frame. You can see 17,000 rows are there, and what it did, it shuffled the entire, see the earlier our indices was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were in order. Now they are not in any order, they are just random. You can see over here. Okay, so this is how you shuffle data set. And if you don't want a shuffle data set, you just want some rows, let's say I want 10 random rows, you can say df.sample and pass in 10, and then you can see 10 random data points have been given to us. So the last one that we are going to have is very, very important. It's called sort values. Now as the name suggests, you are going to take a particular column, let's say total number of rooms. We have taken total number of rooms, this is our column, and we want to sort this entire data frame, not these 10 rows, the entire data frame in the increasing order of the total number of rooms. So if you see only these 10 values, you see the lowest is 63, so the 63 will go on top, then the second lowest will come here, then third lowest here, and so on, and this particular value over here will be the largest. So basically the sorting operation. So how you are going to do it? We are going to say df dot sort values, and you need to pass in something parameter called as by. So what it will have, it will have the column by which you can sort. You can have one column, you can have multiple columns. So I'll do only one. So you say total rooms. I've copied it from here and I've pasted it over here. Okay, now we also need to give another parameter, which is axis. What we want to sort? We want to sort the rows. So rows are axis equal to 0, columns are axis equal to 1. Now if you just hit enter over here, shift and enter, what you will see is, you will see all the values are there and they have been sorted. See 2.0, 8.0, 11.0, whatever number of rooms, I don't know why it is in float value, whatever. So you can see those indices are sorted. Now the problem with that is you have to sorry, these indices are not sorted, this is sorted, so the indices are not sorted, but we would want even this to be sorted and the indices also to be sorted. So we will pass another parameter. We will say ignore index equal to true. Now once we hit enter, shift and enter with this, you see these rows are automatically sorted 2, 8, 11, 12, 15 because we sorted it on total rooms. But these indices are also sorted, which means now we can use the iloc functions and all the log function and all the other things. So many of them are there, and we can have our data frame and we can use it for our analysis or some prediction model. So I think that's the end. If you have any question, write it in the comment section, or you can go to my Instagram and ask the questions. I check my Instagram multiple times a day and even on Facebook. So thank you very much and bye.